We are joined now over the phone, not in person today because he's on the road, by one Mike Sautter of Hurrdat Sports. What's up, Mike?
Just driving, like I was driving golf balls yesterday.
Is JP still asleep?
So, no, I just woke up when the phone rang. He was
JP, you gotta be a better co-pilot than that, my guy. Come on.
I'm never truly all the way out. I was just kind of letting him sit there with his thoughts.
Hey.
Nah, he was not. He was knocked out like Mike Tyson punching me in the face.
Listen, so JP, the funniest thing he said was, it was like whatever. He's like, yeah, at 6:30. That's about 17 hours earlier than he's used to getting up.
Dude,
I was like, that puts him at 7:30 at night. Yeah, I'm just getting started.
Dude, I picked him up at 6:30, and he probably was only sleeping for about 2 hours.
Oh, tops.
Before I picked him up.
Tops. He maybe just took a little 20-minute cat nap.
I don't know. The Suns didn't have any news break last night.
Yeah, he's kind of like you, though. He's got a little bit of that insomniac, whether his game's on or not.
Dude, mine's due to stress. I don't know what his is due to. Hey, so, Jerome, well done yesterday at the tournament. You were all paranoid. I tell people how flippin' competitive you are. You were worried. Full disclosure, is Oklahoma Tyler that good of a golfer that he could carry you guys?
He did. Nobody carried.
Get mad, Mike. Get him.
Yeah.
Listen, it's okay. You're not heavy. He could carry you.
I will tell you. Come on. He hit a. There was live scoring, so we kind of knew where we were.
Yeah.
Okay. Full disclosure, we also bought 4 mulligans, which we used them all and needed them all. So that helped.
Sure.
And we were like towards the end. I think it was our 17th hole. On like a drive, and somehow this dude smoked the ball, went like just missed the trees. Beautiful drive, and that was our 18th hole, and like put it, I don't know, 15 yards, 20 yards from the cup. Like he smoked this drive, landed it beautifully. It was great. I mean, Oklahoma Tyler's good golf. I will say this: he's a great putter.
Well, he doesn't work, so all he does is golf, and he'll tell you himself he's like the greatest putter on God's green earth.
No, him and Trey Mosman can actually putt. They carried us putting because I can't putt at all. Like, I'm terrible.
I could see Trey being good because he always has kind of those good steady hands. You know.
Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to now my guy, Will Osborne, who is Platteview High kid. Golf. That kid's pretty good. Now, he struggled a little bit at the beginning because I think he was maybe nervous because he was supposed to be the hired gun, right? Like the ringer. And he didn't hit very many shots early. And then as the day went on, I think he got a little more comfortable with, me and Tyler's debauchery that was going on.
Yeah. So at what point were you shotgunning those beers?
What? I don't remember.
That's a good sign.
The funniest thing about that whole deal is how long it actually took you to puncture a hole.
Okay. What happened was somebody unnamed, not Oklahoma Tyler Mosman, the other one, threw a thing of ice on top in the cooler and it punctured it. I'm like, okay, well, it's already got a little hole in it, so somebody's got to do this, so I guess it's me. So
arm twisting. Who's gonna do it? Oh, I guess I will.
He's like, who's gonna shotgun this beer as he grabs it?
Yeah, challenges are kind of my thing, right? Like, you challenge me to do something, I probably will give it a whirl. And so it was kind of one of those things. But, yeah, golf was good yesterday. I'm not really sore at all. I thought I was going to be sore. And I played golf like I normally play golf, which is very long off the tee and can drive a golf ball. And inside of 100 yards, it might take me about 8 strokes to get it in the cup. So, that didn't change. I haven't played golf in 2 years. I felt pretty good about it.
Turns out Mike can actually win when he has some decent teammates.
Wow.
Well, Jacob, you've been carrying him forever with this whole preps coverage thing, so you ought to feel pretty good about
No,
that.
I think that was a shot at our kickball team, which I don't appreciate, JP.
Yeah, I think that was, the whole, okay, my quad is still a little bit sore, and that was a week ago from the kickball, but I was running out there.
Yep, you and Forrest.
Him and Forrest, I was running.
Hey, we were going back. We were talking about Nebraska's D-line because I want to get to the tournament coming up next week and some other things. But we were going back and low-key revisiting Super 6 after Nation's departure. Do you remember? I'm just going to give you your Super 6. You went Jeff Sims, Billy Kemp, Prince Well, Van Poppel.
One.
That's going to be another good one. Cam Linhart. It's going to be another good one. 6 was Alvano. We're
wait and see.
We're wait and see. And your sleeper was Sledge. That's significantly better than a lot of other people's this year.
Tough start on the first two. Although I thought Billy Kemp was fine. He didn't have a lot of help.
Yeah, he was fine.
I don't think Billy Kemp is a miss. The only miss there is Sims, which was almost everybody.
And I got to looking at this after Nation. I'm gonna be the bad guy that for 2 years in a row didn't have any of the most highly touted local high school guys on my Super 6. I didn't have Malachi Coleman on mine, and I didn't have Carter Nelson.
You didn't
on
even
mine
have your own
year.
kid on yours.
He was my sleeper.
Was he?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I had so in that year I hit on 4.5.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's
really good.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm good at my job. I don't know.
Hey, speaking of which, with the unfortunate passing of Yano Jones this week, did that change in his funeral arrangements that are going to be at Love Church? Did that change? Does that change the way you're going to do your tournament, or are you kind of locked because of the other team's schedules?
Yeah, I talked the other day on Wednesday when the funeral time came. I got a call from Steve Warren at Warren Academy, and he said, "Hey, like this, I know that's today's tournament, and all of that." And I went back and forth with him, talked to Papio South administrators and different things, and really tried to think of or come up with a way to move it around or do the best we can. And there really isn't a lot I can do to change the schedule, because it's not like passing league, right, where you can just move.
Nope, I get it.
We have 10 referees. We have people flying in from Houston to help run the event. Like, there's just a lot of moving parts. We have teams from central cities coming in. Columbus Lakeview's playing in it. Like, we have teams from kind of not the metro that we have to try and do the best for too, right?
Yeah.
So we just, I think at the end of the day, we said the visitation is Thursday night, and if people want to pay their respects, they can go to the visitation on Thursday night.
Right.
There just can't really move stuff around. And frankly, we don't know what the schedule on Friday will be when teams play until they play on Thursday. So, for example, for Papio South specifically, we will do the best we can to move things for them. So, their team and all that can attend. We just can't do that for everybody.
Yeah.
Because, it just is what it is.
I love when we get to see the thoughtful, good side of Mike Sautter. It's actually in there.
This is years in a row that I've, had this tournament. I kind of move. I'm decent at like adjusting and accommodating sometimes.
Yeah. Oklahoma Tyler said, 175 pounds, got pretty heavy, but he fought through it like dragging you home. It was no problem carrying you through 18.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying.
They did kind of, when we arrived at the golf course, I said to them, if we use one of my shots today, I'll be happy. And we used more than one. So, yes.
Calling it a W.
Hey, putting, I didn't make one putt all day.
Well, you don't have to with him. He is a fantastic putter. He had that little deal down in his office in the basement, and that dude would just carry around a putter and just hit balls like into random things. Like he has really good touch. He's good at bags and stuff like that. Like that doesn't surprise me. I wanted him to teach me how to read a green once, but he gave me the eye roll like he didn't have all year. So I stopped asking about it, but whatever.
He doesn't seem like a terribly patient man.
No, he's not a teacher. He is not. He's a figure it out guy.
Yeah. He's got the patience of my 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot.
Trust me, I know. Ain't no babysitting going on.
Sautter, are there any more details about the tournament next week you need to get out there that people need to know?
Yeah, hopefully the schedule is done and posted on the app. We use the Zorts app for that. I haven't looked today, obviously, but I hope the schedule's done. But yeah, at Millard South, or not Millard South, at Tapio South, Plainville Vista South next week. I think we're going to try and start about 10, like we did last year.
Perfect.
To be over about 5. And teams, the cool thing is teams come in, they play their games, they get to go home. They don't have to sit around and wait all day. So that's good. But yeah, it'd be about 10 to 5 on both days.
Which days are those?
Thursday and Friday next week. So it's 7-on-7 tournaments, scholastic 7-on-7 tournaments with just high school teams. We ended up with 18 teams from Nebraska, and Lewis Central. So the one, but we kind of claim them when they're good, right? So we just they're good players.
I think they can hear us. I think they can hear us in Council Bluffs.
Oh, I think that's tongue in cheek. I get it. We want them to be a part of what they're doing the last 5 years because they got a lot of good players. Camrad's a stud.
Yeah, I think he's awesome. So yeah, we kind of. Is this where I got to get off right here? I think so. Anyway.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, we're trying to find this gym that I've never been to before, and yeah, but no, it's 7-on-7 tournament next week is great. It is what it is, right? It's 7-on-7, no linemen, no pads, so it's it's always a good time though.
You've been around you've been around a lot of 7-on-7 just at the metro level. What are some of your takeaways?
Yeah, well, Wednesday was interesting because I wanted to see Millard South, right? And they Millard South played at
North.
Omaha North.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say Millard South offense is wow. Like they're really pretty good. And sorry, hey, there's gonna be this blinking noise because there's a cop car right in front of me and I'm in this turn lane, so
that's okay.
I don't want to turn my blinker off. Anyway, yeah, Millard South's great. Isaac Jensen is the guy that people aren't talking about enough over there, I think. I think he could have a good year if he kind of, matures mentally because he just felt like he was kind of young and didn't get the ball a lot. The dude, though, and we brought it up before, keep bringing it up. AJ Amarion Jackson is so dang good. He is so good. Yep. He had a great day the other day. And for people, the knock on him is he doesn't have, the 40 times straight line speed. I don't know. He caught like a 5-10 yard slant and outran 3 Omaha North defenders for about 30 yards and scored a touchdown. He outran those little guys that normally can run. So I don't know. I mean, game speed and 40 times speed are a little different. So he turned the Jets on there. He also went up, high pointed a ball for an interception in the end zone because he's going to play safety this year. He had a terrific day the other day. And then Omaha North, I'm not the first one to say this or whatever about them, but I think North will be just fine. Cannon, obviously, at running back's good. Mikey Gow had a decent day. That was actually the first time I've ever seen Mikey Gow play or throw a pass live with my own two eyes. Timing was a little off, but that stuff will catch up. But the guy for them, Connor O'Neal is going to be. He had a good year last year.
I brag about him quite a bit as a rare 3-sport guy. He torched us last year in 7-on-7, and I think people think it's just because I'm friends with the family. But my favorite line: I'd rather be right than well liked. He's really good.
Right. Yeah, he's really good. He's long, athletic.
He killed us in this tournament a year ago. I think he just scored again.
I remember he did. He caught a couple touchdowns like you guys, like in the corner of the end zone.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh
yeah.
boy.
I was like, that's different.
Donovan Jones' little brother though.
Darian.
North.
He deserves his own name. He's a great kid.
Yeah. Again,
there's a lot of D's in that family.
Yeah. Darian Jones. He's on the Donovan Jones plan. Like
the build?
As a junior. Yeah, he's slender or slimmer, but it's going to happen for him at some point. Like his body will catch up, right? And he's a player. Like he's a good player. He has a little bit of the dog in him.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite thing, right? It reminds me of the Caleb Micah thing. Caleb was the nice guy and says a lot of the right things and kind of measured like Donovan. Darian is like an older version of Micah. Darian reminds me a lot of like Keegan in his mentality. Johnson, he just wants to put it on he wants to put it on everybody. I like that about him.
That younger sibling, been picked on my whole life, so now I'm going to be a tough guy thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, I saw them on Wednesday. Fun. Like it was good to see North South. We talked about last week quarterbacks. Jet Tamala probably deserves a little bit of flowers, right? Like he's a good quarterback.
Mm.
He's good. And yes, hey, it's the talent around him, but hey, at the next level in Division I football or high level football, guess what? You have good players around you too on your team, or you're supposed to.
Mm.
So let's not knock him for that this year when the season comes. So he's got to get a little more mobile. I think he knows that, but he's fine. I like Jed. I think he's a good quarterback, throws a good ball. So North South, got to see what they have up front. I haven't seen it, right? So we'll see, but they're clearly are going to be pretty good. So.
Mike, I wanted to go back to Amarion Jackson here for a second because unless I missed something, still does not have a Nebraska offer, right? I'm not missing anything there. And
correct, yeah.
He came out and said after, I think it was one of the camps or Friday Night Lights that, he was working on his speed and trying to get that speed, top end speed up to where they wanted it to be. My question is, if this ends up being, because he's a pretty high profile guy, he's got good offers, he's going to have, he got the Iowa offer, the Kansas State offer. Is this a guy that you look like, and if Nebraska just passes on him, is this going to kind of test the faith that we have in Rhule in terms of the local recruiting at all? Because he's a pretty highly anticipated guy.
Well, yeah, 5 offers going into his junior year. He's on track.
Yeah, I think if they do pass on him, it's just because of he doesn't test well thing. Because, hey, Damon, you know this, and everybody knows this more than me.
You cut out there, Mike.
We lose him.
Like
you cut out there for a second, bud. Go ahead.
I said Rhule and his and things, and it kind of is what it is, and times they want people to hit and all those sort of things. And if they do pass on them, that would probably be the reason why. But I don't know. I do know this. Like, LeVar Woods is a pretty dang good recruiter, one of the best in the country. And when he offers you, it means something, right? So, you know, I think that guy knows what he's doing a little bit.
Well, that's kind of the interesting thing with Jackson, right, is two of the offers that he got in Iowa and Kansas State, they're super choosy about who they send offers out to. So I think that makes him particularly interesting in that class.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. He's just not going to go down there and, like, you know, do the dog and pony show. Like, it's not what he's going to do. And frankly, I feel like he doesn't have to. So
I actually can respect that too. Like, if guys like, I'm okay with that. That's because that's probably how I would be, even if it was my alma mater or not. Like, if I'm betting on me, I'm just betting on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. There'll be a couple of guys like that, right? I think Christian CJ is going to be like that. I think they're going to run into that a little more, and I think they'll just put it to the test. Like, there won't be any panic, right? They're going to stick to their guns and see what happens.
Yeah, they'll be like, you know, does Christian Jones really need to go to a camp? No, like, he doesn't need to. He shouldn't need to do all that. Now, some kids, most kids probably should camp and test and do all that and get the offer that they want or whatnot. But I do think they'll be. You're right. There's people that you just don't need to do it, and I do think that AJ is one of those people, because you just put the tape on is all you need to see, really.
Let me ask you something real quick. With all these string of tight ends, those frames coming out, and you mentioned Anderson, who's the closest that you could be seeing that you could? And I know you play it close to the vest, so I'll be curious to get your answer. But who's the closest you could see to being a Bramer type of the last handful of guys these past couple years?
Oh man,
because I mean you got to think toughness.
Like,
who's the closest do you think to being a Bramer type?
Ooh, that's hard because he was so good, and he's
pretty underappreciated though. Didn't know if he could make the transition, and he was amazing.
Yeah, I don't like it, and he can run, and he's big like that. I don't know.
It's tough, but he has a couple years to get there. Could you see Chase being like that?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he had a good day the other day. He's not as tall, but
no, if he's
maybe Chase could be that.
Interesting.
That's
just curious.
That's Mike Sautter. He will be in Kansas City this weekend for an AAU event. Make sure you check out his Twitter as well as NEB Preps for all that good stuff as well. And, you know, Jacob Padilla is with him too. If he's, well, hopefully he'll be awake for the tournament more than he was for the car ride.
Who's gonna actually have accurate stats? He needs Jacob.
Oh yeah, Jacob will definitely have the accurate stats. Sautter, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Yeah.
Be safe, fellas.